I have two little boys who, when they really like something, they say, "Do it again, do it again." And that's how I feel in InDesign sometimes. But how can you do it again in InDesign? Well, that's where the Transform Again features come in handy. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to zoom in on this part of this page here, and I'm going to duplicate this flower a few times by holding down Option or Alt and just dragging it from here to here to here and so on. You get the idea. Now I'm going to select one of these flowers, and I'm going to rotate it while holding down the Option or Alt key. That duplicates it while I'm rotating. That's a very pretty effect, don't you think? Now I'd like to do exactly the same thing to this flower, but it's going to be kind of a hassle to get it exactly the same. So I really wish there was a Transform Again feature. Well, what do you know? In the Object menu, there's a submenu called Transform Again. And there's various options here, but in this case, I just want to choose Transform Again. Perfect, an exact replica of what I did over here. All right, on this flower, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to rotate it a little bit, and then I'm going to scale it by Command-Shift dragging one of these edges, and then I'm going to move this over, just drag it over a little bit to give kind of like a little and a big effect on these flowers. Okay, looks great. I'd like to do the same thing to this flower over here. So I'll go up to Object, Transform Again, and choose Transform Again, and it just moved a little bit. Why? Because I did a whole sequence of transformations. I rotated and scaled and moved a couple times. So how do I apply that whole sequence to this flower? Well, let me undo that, Command-Z or Control-Z, and say Object, Transform Again, but this time I'm going to choose Transform Sequence Again. That's exactly what I wanted. A sequence is defined by any number of transformations in a row. So mirroring, scaling, moving, rotating, all of those are transforming features. And if you do a sequence of those in the row, then that feature, Transform Sequence Again, will work for you. Now, all these Transform Again features only work with rotating, scaling, and that kind of transformation. I'm really hoping that in a future version of InDesign, we'll get a feature that will repeat anything that I do. In the meantime, Transform Again does the trick most of the time.